Let's proceed to the brief description of both paradigms. For procedural paradigms, it focuses on the procedure or the instructions required for a program to deal with a data such as changing its state. So we'll talk more about states in a short while. So it will be hard for me to actually let you get a feeling and fully understand structured programming, because in the academe, we no longer teach C programming language or Pascal programming language, which again are both structured programming languages. I'm not saying, and I don't want to say these languages are irrelevant, because actually they still exist. Okay? Except that currently, the dominant paradigm for computer programming is object-oriented paradigm. Okay? So let's not think that C and Pascal or any structured programming languages out there are already are already not being used, because actually they still exist and they're still being used. Except that in the academe, so when we say in the academe, when schools offer programs or degrees like BScs and BSIT, they most of the languages being taught in terms of the dominance, they teach Java and C#. Okay, so medyo wala na nato ginatudlo ng C and Pascal. Okay, but to give you an overview, structured programming language kasi, since it is based from procedural paradigm, it cares so much on the process. It cares so much on the procedure of the task, on the procedure of a particular, let's say, process. Okay? Whereas, ang object-oriented, sa ngayon, tira sa tamo settle ha, because you are still beginners, okay? Like, as I have mentioned. So sa OOP kasi, it follows on objects. Okay? I know while you are watching the video right now and while you are listening to my discussion, medyo na ay mga questions na tingaling nagsugod di na pop up sa inyong mga minds, or maybe some ideas are still unclear. That is completely fine. Okay, anyway, I will still be discussing to you more about it later. Okay. For OOP, we are now focused on creating objects. And objects contain data or actions. And actions, I mean, not or, but data and actions. Okay? And then, ang objects na ito ang ma-create. In other words, sa OOP, we care on identifying the objects that will occur in a particular setting. Okay? So for example, if we are creating, let's say we are developing an enrollment system. So one day you will develop your own software, because that is the final requirement before you graduate. So if you think of enrollment system, the objects that will be involved most likely in that system are the following: students, subjects, teachers, deans, and most likely the offices that will be required in order for the enrollment system to be, or in order for the enrollment to be successful. So see, we focus on the objects. Okay. Diba ang student i-enroll niya ang subject? Student and subject are objects in this case. So ang relationship ni student o ni subject is i-enroll. So si student mo-enroll ni subject. Okay? Whereas sa structured programming kasi, we don't focus on objects. We focus on the procedure. So meaning, ang bida sa structured programming is, o sa may mga procedure sa enrollment. Okay? Di ba? Na ay procedure dito nga magpaperma sa guidance. Na ay procedure nga magbayad sa treasurer. Na ay procedure nga mag lista ka sa katong sa information center. Na ay procedure nga magpa-schedule ka og subject. Na ay procedure nga katong maghulat ka sa registrar, makuha ka sa imong certificate of enrollment. So see, the shift, the focus of a procedural paradigm is towards or is on the procedure. Okay? Whereas sa object-oriented programming, the focus is given to the participating objects. Okay? So for a clearer discussion, that will be provided to you later. Okay, so this figure shows you another example of procedural and object-oriented perspective. So if you look at, so in this, the situation, by the way, of the given figure is customer getting cash via ATM or siguro sa bank ni siya. Okay? Pag procedural, you focus on the transactions. You focus on the process. You focus on the involved or on the available processes that may exist or may occur in that specific system. So in this case, if you look at it, sa procedural, naka-focus sa process, sa procedure, sa transaction. Look at the examples below: withdraw, deposit, and transfer. These are all verbs. Okay? Kung mogamit ta og procedural paradigm or structured computer programming languages. Whereas for object-oriented, ang mahitabo, you do not focus on the transaction. You focus on the objects that exist in that particular system. Okay? So kung sa bangko ni siya, objects that may occur in that kind of system are the following: customer, money, account. Okay? For those who are not familiar with how banks work, no? Pag naakay kuan man gud sa bangko, naakay account dito. Kay katong nga account, dito mo man to siya ang gamiton in case, for example, mag-deposit ka og kwarta ato nga bangko. Ang tawag nato ana dayon savings account. Okay? Karon ang sa object inani ang mahitabo. Di ba ang customer, kaya siya mo withdraw, kaya mo deposit, then kaya siya mo transfer. Kaya mo man na siya mabuhat ni customer sa bangko. So sa OOP, kaning nakalagay sa procedural nga mga transaction, actually na-embed na siya ni customer. Okay? Nakuha ang punto. So kanang withdraw, deposit, and transfer nga nakita niyo sa procedural, mga behavior na siya, kumbaga, ni customer. Okay, so giinana pag-interpret ang OOP. Maliko na ko ha. Sa procedural kasi, focus ka sa mga transactions, procedures nga mahitabo within that particular scenario or system. In this case, bangko ang scenario. Okay? So, sa may mga transactions or processes involved sa usa ka bangko. So, na ay cash withdrawal, na ay cash deposit, na ay cash transfer. If you want, we can add balance inquiry. So, kato imong focus. Whereas sa OOP, you focus on the object. So, meaning, kinsa-kinsa man, unsa-unsa man ang mga elements, mga elemento na pwede mo exist, ana nga scenario. So, you don't focus on the procedures. Kaya nga tinawag siyang object-oriented. So, you say customer, money, and account. Kung enrollment system pud ni siya sa OOP, students, subjects, and teachers. Okay? Karon balik ko nako ang sa OOP ang mahitabo kay naman kay customer. Di ba ang customer na ay name, na ay address. Okay? Na siya'y gender. So kanang name, address, and gender mo na gitawag natong states or properties or pwede po tawagon nito siya characteristics. Now, ang object, properties matitawag no, or characteristics or states. Ang objects, napod siya behavior. Ang behavior karon sa object are the following. In the case of customer, di ba ang customer maka-withdraw siya og kwarta? Meaning sa withdraw og kwarta, makakuha. Ang customer maka-deposit pod siya. Meaning sa deposit, makamutang og kwarta. Pwede po si customer maka-transfer. Pwede man ito na mabuhat. For example, naakay anak, naakay asawa, bana, tagaan mo siya og money, i-transfer nimo ang kwarta. So you can do that. So kanang mga verb man na siya mo nang behavior. So kanang withdraw, deposit, transfer sa OOP nga pamaagi na siya ni object, na siya ni customer. Okay? So inana ang pamaagi ni OOP. Sa bangko na siya. Sa savings man ni siya. Okay? Kasi ang bangko, naamang guna siya, okay, I'll give you a scenario ha. Ang sa bangko kasi, naatay gitawag na medyo savings. Kumbaga, gamiton ni mo to siya na account. Imang account is to save money. Okay? Ang bangko, pwede po siya mag-loan. Okay? Pwede po siya mag-offer of loans sa ilahang mga kliyente. Okay? Nya kani siya, ibutang taha sa savings ni siya. Tawag na to ana savings. Okay. Kung magkuha magkag account sa bangko, common account nga ato ang pwede makuha sa bangko is kanang savings account. No? Kana atong savings ba? Mura siya kanang ato ang mga mura siya alkansya, mura ginana ba? Okay? Karon ang bangko, napod siya part nga loan. Ya katong loan, lain na pud to siya. Okay? Kay pwede man nga ang bangko na kay savings, pero wala kay loan. Pwede po na kay savings, napod kay loan. Nag-loan pud ka dito. Pwede. So sa ato pa, ikaw nga customer nga na-record sa savings, naapod kay record sa loan. Kumbaga. Okay? So sa OOP, easier siya sa programmers kasi naana may kay record sa customer, i-reuse na lang to siya sa loan. Kuha, i-reuse na lang siya sa loan. Kumbaga. Whereas manggod sa procedural, dili. Lahi to siya. Kay lahi man nga transaction ang savings, lahi nga transaction ang loan. Okay? So, magbalik-balik imuhan data, kumbaga. So, mura ginana ang dating niya. Okay? That's why, as of now, the dominant, okay, the preferred paradigm by computer programmers is object-oriented. Okay? Next. Okay, so object-oriented programming by definition is a programming paradigm based on the concept of objects that contain data and methods. So object-oriented programming brings together data and its behavior, which will be called methods later, in a single location, or at tawag nato ana objects, no? Which makes it easier to understand how a program works. So if you try to look at the figure showed on your screen right now, so naatay object na tawo. Okay? Naapod siya property. Kani siya female man siya. Na siya properties, na siya email, na siya address, na siya name, etc. Okay? So kani siya nga object name Ibutang talang teacher ni siya. Okay, so this is a teacher object. So kanang object nga yung nakita di ana, that's a teacher, this one. So teacher na siya kunuhay din na. So, nangayo naman na siya pangalan ng sa nga object. Si teacher object, ano siya? Na siya properties, na siya email, na siya address, na siya name, na siya gender, etc. Then si teacher po nga object, no, na siya behavior or methods. So kung ato ni ilista ng verified resend email, pwede ni siya ato ibutang sa method sa may mabuhat ni teacher, di ba? To teach, to compute grades, to drop a student. Pwede inana. Then unsa ning class? Di ba a teacher is technically a human being. So ang class niya is human. So karon relax ha, because later we will be providing some other discussions that will make your entire learning process clearer with object-oriented programming. Sa ngayon, I know there are confusions, may mga tanong, etc. Reserve that for now. Okay? All right. So, what is an object? So an object has a unique set of attributes and behavior. Okay? Each object always has a set of attributes and a set of behaviors. Ang object, naagid na siya attribute, naagid po na siya behavior. Kanang attribute, other synonyms used in other books are characteristics, states, or properties. Parihara na sila. Attributes, characteristics, states, properties, parihara na sila. Okay? Dayon ang usa ka object na apod siya behavior. Okay? So hence, objects have two characteristics. Okay? At nasa attributes na apod siya behaviors. Katangian, kumbaga. Unsay naa niya, kumbaga. So an object, to continue, an object is an instance of a class and they are around us. Kanang mga naa sa ato ang paligid are objects. Our chair, our watch, television, your radio, your smartphone, those are all objects. Okay? A dog, for example, has attributes like breed, age, and color. So dog is an object. Diba? So may attributes sa ka-dog. Na siya breed, na siya age, na siya color. Ang dog, naapot siya behavior. So ang dogs can howl, eat, and wag its tail. Okay? So ang dog, na siya properties or attributes nga breed, age, color, pwede po mo na dungagag weight, etc. Dayon, naapot siya behavior. Okay? Eat, wagtail, pwede po sleep. Okay? So, kung naman ta sa properties, we have now identified properties or attributes and we have now identified behaviors. Kung sa man dayon ang iyahang gitawag na itong class. So, di ba ang dog is an animal? Okay? So, animal is the class. Mao na siya sa inyong Java, remember mo last semester. You always say public class, then the class name. Okay? That explains why naa siya class. Because Java is based in object-oriented paradigm. Follows object-oriented paradigm. Okay? Okay. Check these examples. So you have an object called dog. Okay? So ang dog, di ba? A dog is an animal. So in other words, ang ato ang class is an abstract of that object. Okay? Later, we will define class later. Okay. So we have an object dog. So dog is an animal. So ang class nimo niya is animal. Basta may states or properties or behaviors. Okay, these are properties lang. Hindi siya behavior. Properties or characteristics na siya. Okay? Ang properties or characteristics niya include breed, age, and color. Whereas ang behavior niya or methods, ang tawag sa programming, eat, howl, and wagtail. So sa karon, some of you might be overloaded na with terms. No? Kaya anong lahi-lahi ang term? Pareha naman na sila. Give yourself time, relax, give yourselves time. You will get used to terms later. Okay? We also have another example here, an object of car. Remember, a car is a vehicle. Okay, so ang vehicle is your class. Okay? So, ang states sa usa ka car, properties or characteristics, again, dili na siya behavior, characteristic na siya. Ang usa ka car, naa siya brand, price, naa po siya color. Dayon, ang behavior sa usa ka car or method sa usa ka car is start, to stop, and accelerate. Diba? So that is, so these are examples of objects and mapping objects and unsa ilahang classes. Okay? So you can pause this video and you can think of other examples. Okay, so supposed to be online session man siya, but since this is pre-recorded, no? Kanyari lang mag-identify ta ninyo o kung sa inyo hang ma-identify. Okay, I hope you're jotting down. You're taking notes. Okay, isip daw og mga examples, Diana. Okay, you can pause the video. Okay. All right, so to proceed, what is a class? So a class can be considered as a blueprint using which you can create as many objects as you like. So hence, a class is used as a basis for its instances, which in this case is called objects. So ang usa ka class mao na imong basis, mao na imong blueprint. Okay? Dira gikan ang imong objects. Ang tawag niya is instances. Okay? Kumbaga mga anak, mga na-produce anak na class. Okay? So a vehicle class, for example, can create instances like a car, a motorcycle, or a ship. Liko na ako, a vehicle class, for example, can create instances like a car, motorcycle, or a ship. Remember, a car, a motorcycle, and a ship. Okay? These three are all vehicles. So si vehicle ang class. Kaya siya man ang blueprint. Siya ang main, kumbaga. Okay? Whereas, another example, an animal class, on the other hand, can create instances like a dog, a cat, or a bird. Okay? So in other words, kaning mga instances or mga objects, no? So good ta sa animal, this one. Kaning dog, cat, or bird. Obviously, dogs, cats, and birds are not alike. But all of these are animals. Meaning, ang dog, ang cat, ug ang bird, naagid na sila common. Nga naman, because they are all animals. Kuha? Ang car, ang motorcycle, ug ang ship, obviously are not the same. But they are all vehicles. So, naa unique properties and behavior ang car, motorcycle, ug ship. Pero naapod sila common. Kasi these three are all vehicles. Okay? So that is the meaning of class. Okay. Another example here. So class animal. So instance 1 or object 1, you have dog. Instance 2 or object 2, you have bird. So ang state sa dog, breed, age, color. Ang state po sa bird, breed, age, color. Or, forgive me if this is a mistake. I think it's supposed to be, I'm not sure if it's supposed to be breed or species, but please just check it for clarity. No, but you get the sense, you get the point. Diba na ay common ang bird. Kaya ang bird naman siya color, ang dog na apoy color. Okay? Okay, next. Na behavior ang dog na wala ang bird. Dogs cannot fly. Okay? But birds cannot howl. Okay? So ang dogs po, they cannot lay eggs. Mammals man and dogs. Okay? Another example is ang vehicle here. So instance 1 or object 1, ang car. Instance 2 and object 2, ang ship. Okay? So theory sa ta. Later na ta mag-demo sa code. So sa may state ni car, di ba, brand, color, and price. Natawa ang state ni ship, color, capacity, and destination. Di ba, sir, ang car, pwede mo po siya na destination? Yeah, pwede po. Pwede po nga wala. Okay? Ang capacity, pwede po na siya na ni car. See? So, di ba, na sila common. Kasi nga, they are all vehicles. Okay? Pero sa behavior, dira sila mag-differ. Parehanin kang bird o kang dog. Birds can fly, dogs cannot fly. Okay? So, kani siya general ni siya. Because ang gimin man sa accelerate din sa ship kay on the sea. Ang gimin po sa accelerate din sa car is on the ground. Okay? So this is, you can use this this table para klaro sa inyo ha, para siya, dali siya ma-identify. Dali siya sayon siya lang tawon. Again, kaning states di ani kaning behavior din siya behavior, characteristics ni siya. Aron lang ma-familiar ta sa synonym og sa sa terms, sa terminologies nga panggamiton. Acceptable kasi ang properties, acceptable po ang state, acceptable po ang characteristics. Okay? Okay. Important points. An object states, okay, balik-balik yun niya, an object states, also called properties or characteristics, will actually become variables later. Later ako ang i-demo ang code niya. And then, ang object's behavior will become methods later. Okay. Pag inani lang, okay, pwede rin mo siya tawagong behavior. Pero sa code na, in-code na nimo, ang iyang tawag na appropriate term is method. Okay? So, kana imuhang mga states, kani siya, mahimo ning variables later. Nig-code na siya nimo. In other words, mahimo siyang inani. Look at this example. Nakay dog. Okay? So, animal, from class animal, and ang tawag ani siya. Mahimo na siyang breed. String breed. So, breed niya. String age, int age, and string color. Okay. Finally, ang iyahang behavior, nahimo ng methods. And sa programming na in-code nimo, inani na iyahang format. Na siya open and close parentheses. Okay? So, a dog can eat, a dog can howl, a dog can wag its tail. I hope that is clear. Okay? So, reflect, pause for a while and reflect. What are your questions? I hope you write it or comment it on this post aron matubag nato na siya inyong mga pangutana. Okay? You can always pause the video and rewatch it over and over again if you need to do it para makuha ang concept. Okay? All right, so let's proceed to the summary. There are various programming paradigms programmers may adopt. So a programming paradigm is a particular way of programming. Back in the days, ang dominant programming paradigm is procedural paradigm. So sa procedural paradigm, gamit ta og structured programming languages or structured programming. Over time, programmers need or found a new way of writing computer programs na mas, let's say, well, for the lack of word, mas better sa old version. Ana magina siya, no? So in the world of technology, we always look for innovations and new trends, no, that are supposed to be better than the previous versions. Okay, so it so happened that object-oriented came into the game. Okay, and so the dominant or preferred paradigm of a doing computer programming, writing computer programming is what we call object-oriented paradigm. Okay, you have actually adopted procedural paradigm. So last semester, actually, katong top to bottom, no? Katong very, very basic, normal, and I mean fundamental way of doing computer programming. Actually, sa katong nga time procedural to siya, people. Okay, you will learn about object-oriented programming later. So OOP is a programming paradigm which focuses on objects, their properties and behavior. So kung supermarkets, kung procedural ka, you focus on katong mga proseso kung saan nag-exist sa supermarket. Okay? Whereas kung OOP ka, mag-focus ka sa mga unsay mo participate at kisay naa didto kumbaga. So if you think about it, ang sa procedural ana kumbaga na version, kung procedural atong i-follow, so katong purchasing of goods, kato dito ka sa katong transactions jud ka mag-focus sa mga available o mo-occur nga mga proseso nga naasulod dito. Kung mag-OOP ka, mao na siya ka ng client or customer, cashier, blah blah blah, dira manggawas na siya tanan. Okay? So, sa object, an object is anything that has a property or a behavior. Again, a property, pwede po ka mo gamit og state, pwede po ka mo gamit og characteristics. Finally, an object is based from a class, which serves as a blueprint for its instances, which in this case are actually called objects. So, a class is a blueprint. Mo na siya kumbaga diragikan ang mga objects. So, moingon ta og let's say ibutang ta teacher, student, dean, staff. All of them are human beings. So, human beings ang class. Okay? Ang katong teacher, student, staff, blah 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 ang objects. Kaya na may mabuhat si teacher nga dili mabuhat ni student. Na may mabuhat ni student nga dili mabuhat ni teacher. Okay? So ang tawag nato ana sa OOP is instances. No? Mga anak ni classes. Okay? So I think we're done with this discussion. Again, if you have questions, please comment it on the post. Actually, naani siya tasks. Please refer it to the module given to you. The very first module for the prelim period. You can check it. And before you begin your module, you can always raise your questions and concerns. And with that, I need to remind you all about the following. Your attendance. Let's learn our lesson from the previous semester. I hope you attend to your classes regularly. With the present condition about the availability of our electricity, so ano lang sa ta, we'll take it slow for now. But I hope we are still in the middle of this pandemic, but I have been reminding all of you these. You have responsibilities as well as students. So please attend to it. That is honesty and integrity. So I am very concerned of the integrity of your work. You can always seek help. You can always ask help from your friends or classmates, or even to me. But please make it sure that the output or the work is really done by you. Okay? There is no glory in asking someone to do it for you. One day, you will regret doing it. Third is timeliness. If you don't want problems to occur on your status as students, please accommodate submit your tasks on time. It's for your own good and benefit. So the topics are given to you weekly. You have sufficient time to do it. Okay? Avoid procrastination, please. And also, for other concerns, I don't want to, let's not settle on the, well, like I said, let's learn from the lessons of the previous semester. There is no reason for you to be shy or ashamed of raising your concerns. If you have questions about the topic, you know what to do. You can contact me. You can either post it on the post as a comment, and you can contact me during office hours. Avoid doing it at the middle of the night. Okay? I think that would be all for now. The second video will show you a demonstration of the examples. And again, check the module for some tasks. It can be found at the later part of the module. Take it slow. Watch it over and over again. If you need to, ask questions and practice, practice, practice. You stay safe, and thank you.